me test out the audio really quickly. Testing. Yep, we're live. Waiting on YouTube to get the stream, and they just got it, baby. Okay. Y'all, it's super late. Okay, notification was just sent out. And look who's up. Okay. So I need to go get him a blanket. Let me see. Where's your thing, blanket, babes? I need to get you a blanket because it's cold. Okay, I see one. Okay. But hey, y'all, we are the Rosharon Frenchie breeders, home of the 3K pup, baby. And tonight or this morning, whatever time you are watching the stream, me and the baby are up. So I like to read before going to bed. It's just my thing. And I have so much on my mind tonight, I'm not able to go to sleep. So, no, baby, no, baby. So, as you guys know, the baby is a breastfed baby, and he wakes me up in the middle of the night to eat. So, I will be half asleep anyway. But I think all of the excitement from Breeding Dream and our YouTube channel growing, and it's our anniversary month, and I just cut my hair. There's just a lot going on. So my body hasn't settled yet. Okay. But let's see if we can get our people to come on. I know on the West Coast, it should be, let's see, it's 1 o'clock our time, so it should be 12, 11:42 their time. So it should, wait, yeah, 11, so almost midnight. On that, oh, y'all, wait. I know, little baby. Y'all, this boy, oh, God. Oh, y'all, this boy is something else. Oh, no, little baby. This boy almost dropped this soda. So wait, y'all. I'm gonna have to prop y'all up somewhere. I don't want to go in the office because I would probably start working and I probably would never wind down for bed. So I think we're just gonna go in the living room and wind down. I don't want to wake up my husband. I for sure don't want to wake up Trust. So I think we're just gonna sit here on the sofa and read The Richest Man in Babylon. Okay. So we have our setup. And now I just need to grab our drink and then we are going to get reading. But how are y'all doing tonight? Let us know where y'all watching from. Let me know what you do when it's hard for you to go to sleep. Hope you know what? I'm going to strap the baby. That's how I can get him to go to sleep. Yeah. What's up, y'all? Hi, Ken. How are you? Make sure, hold on. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. Double tap the screen. Double tap the screen. Double tap the screen for me. Please double tap the screen. Double tap the screen. Hi, Ken. Let me strap the baby really quickly, and then we're gonna start reading. Okay. We're gonna be cozy. Yeah, we're gonna start reading soon. Let me see. Um, Okay, what's up, y'all? Y'all should still be able to hear me. I had to strap the baby so he can go to sleep and not want to eat. That's why I'm up now because this little boy eats all night and it's hard for me to sleep sometimes. But if you're new here, we are the Rosharon Frenchie breeders, home of the 3K pup. And tonight we will be reading The Richest Man in Babylon because I can't sleep. So I want you guys to like the video. And if you're not sure how to do that, if you can't double tap the screen, you should be able to double tap. But if you can't do that, you just exit out of the chat and then you click the people little icon and then you just like the watching like that. But let me get our reading and then we can get started. Okay, let's see. Um, let's read from the iPad. All right, I'm coming, you guys. Okay. What do y'all do to go to sleep? I'm very curious. Cause y'all here lately, your girl just been up. Like, girl, go to sleep, please. Let me see something. Okay. All right. I'm almost ready, guys. Okay. Oh, inefficient said close my eyes. Y'all, that doesn't work for me all the time, especially with the baby. It doesn't work. I wish it was that simple. Sometimes it's hard for me to get comfortable too because I have to make sure the baby is comfortable and it's just a lot on my mind. But our kids are my priority. So as long as they're good, I'm good. Really. But tonight is just one of those nights where your girl is just overly excited. And I didn't give myself proper time to wind down. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. We're gonna be oh, I can't cover the mic. We're gonna be cozy. I know the baby's gonna go to sleep. This is his favorite position. He loves to be strapped. But I'm just gonna try to pull up the book and see if we can get started with our reading. Y'all, I really love The Richest Man in Babylon. I absolutely love this book. It has transformed my mind. The way I see money is like completely different. One of the things that we have started to do now is save not just for the business because the business has been the priority this past year, but now we have started to save for our personal lives. Um and being over $400,000 in debt because your mortgage is dead. I find that this book is definitely helping me understand how to value money and how hard we work for our money. You shouldn't just be loosely giving it to everybody else. So, one main principle, oh, he's already winding down. But one main principle that I'm learning from the book is to understand that a part of all we earn is ours to keep. And I say that every day. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. And I never understood that until I read this book. bring out a little closer. But I never understood that until I read this book. But a part of all we earn is ours to keep. And I was like, wow, okay. So, okay, we're going to start reading. I like to be in the corner of the couch. So let's go in the corner. Okay, and look, I got my baby behind me. Okay, so let me see if the baby will go to sleep. Y'all, he trying to read the iPad. You go to sleep, you. Okay, you go to sleep. Okay, so let me see what page we stopped on. Y'all, let me know where you're watching from too, please. And like the video too. Okay, so we stopped on page 17 because I highlighted it. And we're in chapter 2. So I read ahead a little bit because at night I like to read and research. And I wanted to read ahead too to understand as a teacher. All right, so let's get into it. And y'all, I cut my hair today. Don't mind it. I don't know what we're gonna do with it tomorrow, but we're gonna figure it out. Okay. So, um, let me just read the beginning of the paragraph. So it says, "Nor did I again see him for 2 years when he once more returned, and his face was full of deep lines, and his eyes drooped, for he was becoming a very old man. And he said to me, Arcad, hast thou yet achieved the wealth thou dreamed of, or have you basically accomplished your goals? And I answered, Not yet all that I desire, but some I have, and it earns more, meaning it earns more money, and its earnings earn more. And then, wait, baby, no, y'all. No, baby, no. No, no, no. Come on, let's go to sleep. Come on, let's go to sleep. It's okay. No, he didn't close out the book. Okay. So this book was written in 1929. No, correction, 1829. This book was written in hold on. No, let me not lie. This book was written in, I want to be accurate, 1926. Wait, it was copyrighted in 1926. Okay, so I don't know where I got 1929 from, but it was written in 1926. So this book is really, really, really old. And okay. And it uses, okay, yep, he's sleepy. This is the whining cry. But it uses like thou and they, but I want to read it so we all understand it. Okay. Okay. So this is the young archive. He's not broke anymore. He's actually been saving money, and the old rich man is coming back to check on him. The man who gave him advice to save. Okay. Okay, baby, it's okay. You can go to sleep. Okay. He likes when I rub his head. Okay. So Archied answered, and he said, And I answered, Not yet all that I desire, but some I have, and it earns more, and its earnings earn more. And then Algamesh asked, And do you still take the advice of the brick makers? Archied answered, About brick making, they give good advice. I retorted. Archied, he continued. Oh, so this is Algamesh talking. He said, Archive. He continued, You have learned your lessons well. You first learned to live with less than you could earn. Next, you learn to seek advice from those who were competent through their own experiences to give it. And lastly, you have learned to make money work for you. You have taught yourself how to acquire money, how to keep it, and how to use it. Therefore, you are competent for a reasonable position. I am becoming an old man. My sons think only of spending and give no thought to earning. My interests are great, and I fear too much for me to look after. If you will go to Nippur and look after my lands there, I shall make you my partner, and you shall share in my estate. So, this is Arkad talking now. And he said, so I went to Nippur and took charge of his holdings, which were large. And because I was full of ambition and because I had mastered the three laws of successfully handling wealth, I was enabled to increase greatly the value of his properties. So I prospered much. And when the spirit of Algamesh departed for the sphere of darkness, meaning he passed away, I did share in his estate as he had arranged under the law. So spake Archive, and when he had finished his tale, one of his friends said, you were indeed fortunate that Algamesh made of you an heir. Okay, so page 17 is amazing because it's the story of how the young, not so rich Archive acquired his wealth because he took the advice of his mentor who told him that a part of all you earn is yours to keep. Start saving a tenth. Algamesh listened and he listened so well. He saved for a year. He got scammed. He lost all of his money. He saved for, I think, another year, I believe. And he invested in something. And then he saved for 2 years and he bought a rental and rented it out for banquets or something. And his mentor came back and checked on him. And as he was aging, he knew he was getting old. He wrote in his will for Orkai to take over his land and his wealth and not his sons. So this is good. This is good, y'all. So the rich man, before he passed away, made Arkad an heir. That's good. That is so good. Okay, so let's continue. It said, fortunate only in that I had the desire to prosper before I first met him. For 4 years, did I not prove my definiteness of purpose by keeping 1/10 of all I earned? Would you call a fisherman lucky who for years so studied the habits of the fish that with each changing wind he could cast his nets about them? Opportunity is a haughty goddess who wastes no time with those who are unprepared. Okay, so we need to be prepared for opportunity. And then a man said, you had strong willpower to keep on after you lost your first year's savings, meaning after he got scammed. You are unusual in that way, spoke up another. So Arkai responded and said, willpower, retorted Arkai. What nonsense. Do you think willpower gives a man the strength to lift a burden the camel cannot carry or to draw a load the oxen cannot budge? Willpower is but the unflinching purpose to carry a task you set for yourself to fulfillment. If I set for myself a task, be it ever so trifling, I shall see it through. How else shall I have confidence in myself to do important things? Should I say to myself, for 100 days as I walk across the bridge into the city, I will pick from the road a pebble and cast it into the stream? I would do it if on the seventh day I passed by without remembering. I would not say to myself, tomorrow I will cast two pebbles, which will do as well. Instead, I would retrace my steps and cast the pebble. Now, y'all, I'm going to be honest. When I was reading this paragraph, I was like, what? It really didn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense, but we're going to continue. He's basically telling them that it's really not willpower um, that gives a man the strength to continue on. I'm trying to see what his point is, but I don't understand this paragraph. Okay, so let's continue. It says, Nor on the 20th day would I say to myself, Arcad, this is useless. What does it avail you to cast a pebble every day? Throw in a handful and be done with it. No, I would not say that nor do it. When I set a task for myself, I complete it. Therefore, I am careful not to start difficult and impractical tasks because I love leisure. Okay, so let me put the microphone on this side. Don't grab that microphone, little baby. Okay, so I did not understand this paragraph, to be honest, but I love the last two sentences. So I'm going to highlight that actually. So I like that he said, when I set a task for myself, I complete it. Therefore, I am careful not to start difficult or impractical tasks because I love leisure. So he's basically saying here that if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And I'm very thoughtful and careful to not start impractical tasks, meaning tasks that he knows he probably won't complete because he likes his downtime. He likes to relax. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. Okay, so let me see if y'all voted on the poll. Y'all wait. Okay. It looks like we have 3 votes on the poll. Okay. And 100% of the votes are for reading The Richest Man in Babylon. Okay. So let's continue. And it says, and then another friend spoke up and said, if what you tell is true, and it does seem as you have said reasonable, then being so simple, if all men did it, there would not be enough wealth to go around. And Arcade responded. He said, wealth grows wherever men exert energy. Let me highlight this because I said this month, y'all, I want YouTube to pay our mortgage. Our mortgage is our highest bill, and it just went up for the new year. I'm not even sure how our mortgage is supposed to be fixed, but I said this month I want YouTube to pay our mortgage. And for that to happen, we would need to make $77 a day, averaging 30 days. So I'm gonna work really, really, really hard and be focused and intentional so that we can have YouTube pay our mortgage. Because if we could free up the biggest bill, then that will give a lot of time for leisure and also allow us to pay off debt faster. So our mortgage is currently our biggest bill, but if we could earn our mortgage through content creation, the money we were making to pay the mortgage could be paying off other debt. So that's the plan. Excuse me, y'all hold me to it. Okay. So the paragraph says, wealth grows wherever men exert energy. Archive replied, if a rich man builds him a new palace, is the gold he pays out gone? No, the brickmaker has part of it, and the laborer has part of it, and the artist has part of it. And everyone who labors upon the house has part of it. When I read this paragraph, I said, oh, that makes a lot of sense because the gentleman before this paragraph was asking, basically, like, if all men started saving money or started inheriting wealth, it wouldn't be enough wealth to go around. And the rich archive now is saying, no, it would be enough wealth to go around because when you build a house, the contractor who got the job to build the house and manage the people will get paid. The brick maker will get paid. The construction people will get paid. Everybody will get paid. So it is enough money to go around. I really like this book a lot so far. Okay. So he's saying, no, the brickmaker has part of it, and the laborer has part of it, and the artist has part of it, and everyone who labors upon the house has part of it. Yet when the palace is completed, it is not worm all it costs. And is the ground upon which it stands now worth more because it is there? And is the ground that adjoins it not warm? Well, I guess this is like back in the day talk, but I guess worm means worth. So, and is the ground that adjoins it not worth more because it is mere? Wealth grows in magical ways. No man can prophesy the limit of it. Y'all, I love this. I love these two sentences as well. I have to highlight it. He said, wealth grows in magical ways. No man can prophesy the limit of it. Wow. So there is enough to go around. Have not the Phoenicians built great cities? Let me cover the baby's head because I don't want him to get sick. Okay. Have not the Phoenicians built great cities on barren coasts with the wealth that comes from the ships of commerce on the seas? What then do you advise us? So, this is another man talking to the rich archive. What then do you advise us to do that we also may become rich? Asked still another of his friends. The years have passed, and we are no longer young men, and we have nothing put by, meaning we have nothing to show for our older age. So these are men that he grew up with. These are like some of his homeboys that are broke, and they're trying to see how to get rich. Okay, so Arkad said, I advise that you take the wisdom of Algamish and say to yourselves, a part of all I earn is mine to keep. Oh, God. Y'all, I love this. I love this book. Okay, y'all, listen. He said, say it in the morning when you first arise, say it at noon, say it at night, say it each hour of every day. Say it to yourself until the words stand out like letters of fire across the sky. A part of all I earn is mine to keep. I wish I had a phone to comment that because that is so important that we understand that. A part of all I earn is mine to keep. Y'all, we started saving this week and it feels so amazing. I'm so happy. It's okay, baby. Because we understand that a part of all we earn is ours to keep. Okay, so let's continue. It says, impress yourself with the idea, fill yourself with the thought, then take whatever portion seems wise. Let it be not less than 1/10 and lay it aside. Arrange your other expenses to do this if necessary, but lay by that portion first. So save your 10% first. Soon you will realize what a rich feeling it is to own a treasure upon which you alone have claims. As it grows, it will stimulate you. Oh, maybe that's why I can't sleep. I feel like that. I feel like that. Maybe that's why I can't sleep, y'all. It says, as it grows, it will stimulate you. A new joy of life will thrill you. Greater efforts will come to you to earn more. Or of your increased earnings will not the same percentage also yours to oh, wait. For of your increased earnings will not the same percentage be also yours to keep. Y'all, this is good. He's basically saying that when you convince yourself in your mind that a part of all you earn is yours to keep, right? And you start saving 1/10 of all you earn, right? Then the treasure that you are saving will excite you. And you will then come up with creative ideas to start earning more. So if you are saving 1/10 from your little, when your money starts making other money, they call it babies in the book. But when your money start having babies, then not only are you saving 1/10 of your money, now you're saving 1/10 of the babies. That's good. That is so good. Okay. Okay, so let's continue, y'all. Then learn to make your money work for you. Make it your slave. Make its children and its children's children work for you. This is good. Ensure an income for your future. Look at your age and don't forget that in the days to come, you also will be numbered among them. Therefore, invest your treasure with greatest caution that it not be lost. What is this word? You, you serious rates? What does you serious mean? Hold on, we have to look this word up. What does you serious mean? Let's see. I never seen this word before. Hold on, baby. Your serious means usury. Let's see. It says charging illegal or exorbitant rates of interest for the use of money. Okay, so bad loans. Okay, like overinflating loans. That's what it means. Okay, so let's read that sentence over with context. It says, therefore, invest your treasure with greatest caution that it be not lost. Usurious rates of return are deceitful sirens that sing, but to lure the unwary upon the rocks of loss and remorse. So he's basically saying that I want you to be successful, but don't bribe people, don't scam people. I'm happy he said that. Okay, okay, so this is so good. This definitely applies to us. It definitely does. Okay, so let's read the next paragraph. It says, provide also that your family may not want should God call you home. For such protection, it is always possible to make provision with small payments at regular intervals. Therefore, the provident man does not delay in expectation of a large sum becoming available for such a wise purpose. So he's telling him to make sure that he plans for when God calls him home and set his family up for success to basically continue without him. Okay. Counsel with wise men. Seek the advice of men whose daily work is handling money. Wow. That's really, let me highlight that too. That's really good. Seek the advice of men whose daily work is handling money. Wow. It's okay, baby. That's why we need to be more comfortable going to the bank. Come on, baby. It's okay. It's okay. Let them save you from such an error as I made myself in entrusting my money to the judgment of Esmer, the brickmaker. A small return and a safe one is far more desirable than risk. Enjoy life while you are here. Do not overstrain or try to save too much. If 1/10 of all you earn is as much as you can comfortably keep, be content to keep this portion. Live otherwise according to your income and don't let yourself get it's a it's a very vulgar word. I won't say that. But don't let yourself be foolish and be afraid to spend. Life is good and life is rich with things worthwhile and things to enjoy. So he's saying to save your 1/10 of all you earn, or as much as you can, but don't be afraid to live. Okay, so let's continue. So his friends thanked him and went away. Some were silent because they had no imagination and could not understand. Some were sarcastic because they thought that one so rich should divide with old friends who are not fortunate. But some had in their eyes a new light, like me. That's why I can't sleep tonight. They realized that Algamesh had come back each time to the room of the scribes because he was watching a man work his way out of darkness into light. When that man had found the light, a place awaited him. No one could fill that place until he had for himself worked out his own understanding, until he was ready for opportunity. No one could fill that place until I love that. No one could fill that place until he had for himself worked out his own understanding until he was ready for opportunity. Wow. I love that. Wow. Chapter 2 is serious. Okay. These latter were the ones who, in the following years, frequently visited Arcade. So the latter ones that had the new light in their eyes, they frequently visited Arcade, who received them gladly. He counseled with them and gave them freely of his wisdom, as men of broad experience are always glad to do. I want to hold on, y'all. I want to put the book that we are reading on the other side so y'all will know exactly what I'm reading. Let me do that really quickly. Hold on. Okay, baby. Okay, 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 baby. He's going to sleep. I want to cover your head, baby. Okay. Did I save it? Oh, uh-oh. I didn't save it? I'm coming out. Maybe I did save it. Let me just. Oh, okay, okay, okay. All right. That's the book we're reading. So everybody will know. Okay. So let me read this sentence over again because this is good. It says, no one could fill that place until he had for himself worked out his own understanding, until he was ready for opportunity. These latter were the ones who, in the following years, frequently visited Arcade, who received them gladly. He counseled with them and gave them freely of his wisdom, as men of broad experience are always glad to do. And he assisted them in so investing their savings that it would bring in a good interest with safety and would neither be lost nor entangled in investments that paid no dividends. The turning point in these men's lives came upon that day when they realized the truth that had come from Algamish to Arcade and from Arcade to them. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. And I know it's tax time, and it is so important that we learn this principle that a part of all we earn is ours to keep. I pray I never forget this because, y'all, this sentence right here is the reason why I can't sleep right now because I feel like I I have a new life. I really do. I feel like I have a new life. I feel like God has blessed us with so many gifts, so many talents, and it's up to us to figure out how to monetize them, how to use them for good, and get ourselves out of the hole that we put ourselves in. So if we have gifts and talents, if God has blessed you to sing, sing. I know y'all recently saw the girl who um sung the yeah, I think the Dr. Pepper jingle, and she got paid $2,000. So I'm a content creator. I teach people how to turn content into cash. So who am I to be in debt when God has given me a way to, one, help other people, but two, help myself? Yeah, I'm trying to highlight this paragraph and it's not highlighting. But if y'all are interested in learning how to turn content into cash, how to share your story online, the link is in the bio. You can definitely sign up for our memberships because God has definitely transformed our business in a year. Um, and YouTube is watching. We're in YouTube training right now. But yeah, the baby is so sleepy. Okay, I'm trying to highlight this sentence and it's not working, so we're just gonna continue. So that is the rest of chapter 2, guys. And now we're in chapter 3. Okay. So the title of chapter 3 is Seven Cures for a Lean Purse. And chapter 3 starts and it reads, The glory of Babylon endures. Down through the ages, its reputation comes to us as the richest of cities. Its treasures are fabulous. Yet it was not always so. The riches of Babylon were the results of the wisdom of its people. They first had to learn how to become wealthy. When the good king Sargon returned to Babylon after defeating his enemies, the Elamites, he was confronted with a serious situation. Oh, excuse me, guys. Let me test the mic. Testing, testing. Okay. I had to sneeze. Sorry. Okay. So, where was I? When the good king Sargon returned to Babylon after defeating his enemies, the Elamites, he was confronted with a serious situation. The royal chancellor explained it to the king as this: After many years of great prosperity brought to our people, because your majesty built the great irrigation canals and the mighty temples. Y'all, this book talks about multiple gods. Listen, I serve one, so I'm just going to translate, okay? Okay. And the mighty temple of God. Now that these works are completed, the people seem unable to support themselves. So basically, the king and his royal priesthood, they hired people to build a temple. And now that they have built the temple, the people, the contractors can't support themselves. So it says the laborers are without employment. The merchants have few customers. The farmers are unable to sell their produce. The people have not enough gold to buy food or money to buy food. Now the king is responding and he says, But where has all the money gone that we spent for these great improvements? Demanded the king. It has found its way, I fear, responded the chancellor, into the possession of a few very rich men of our city. It filtered through the fingers of most of our people as quickly as the goat's milk goes through the strainer. Okay? It's like water. Now that the stream of gold has ceased to flow, most of our people have nothing to show for their earnings. The king was thoughtful for some time. Then he asked, Why should so few men be able to acquire all the money? So basically, how did these men get all the money? The chancellor replied and said, Because they know how. One may not condemn a man for succeeding because he knows how. Neither may one with justice take away from a man what he has fairly earned to give to man of less ability. But why, demanded the king, should not all the people learn how to accumulate money and therefore become themselves rich and prosperous? Quite possible, Your Excellency. But who can teach them? Certainly not the priests, because they know not of money making. Y'all, this made me my heart hurt. Because I'm like, man, this book was written in the 20s, and they're saying they can't even go to the priest to ask the priest how to get money. Y'all, that makes my heart hurt. Okay. All right. So it says, so the king asked, who knows best in all our city how to become wealthy, Chancellor? Asked the king. Thy question answers itself, your majesty. Who has amassed the greatest wealth in Babylon? Well said, my able chancellor. It is Arcad. He is the richest man in Babylon. Bring him before me on tomorrow. Upon the following day, as the king had decreed, Arcad appeared before him, straight and sprightly, despite his 60 years and 10. So I know the word score means 20. So three score is three times 60, 60 years and 10. So he was 70 years old. Okay. Arcade spoke the king. Is it true that you are the richest man in Babylon? So it is reported, your majesty, and no man disputes it. How did you become so wealthy? By taking advantage of opportunities available to all the citizens of our good city. The king replied and said, but you had nothing to start with. And Arcad said, only a great desire for wealth. Besides this, nothing. Arcad, continued the king, our city is in a very unhappy state because a few men know how to acquire wealth and therefore monopolize it, while the mass of our citizens lack the knowledge of how to keep any part of the gold they receive. It is my desire that Babylon be the wealthiest city in the world. Therefore, it must be a city of many wealthy men. Therefore, we must teach all the people how to acquire riches. Tell me, Archive, is mere any secret to acquiring wealth? Can it be taught? Hmm, look at that. I need to highlight this whole paragraph. This is a king wanting his city to be great and recognizes that for the city to be great, the people have to be great. And for the city to become the richest, all the people have to learn how to acquire wealth. Look at that. Now that's a leader. Okay. Now Arcad responded and he said, it is practical, your majesty, that which one man knows can be taught to others. The king's eyes glowed. Arcad, you speak the words I wish to hear. Will you lend yourself to this great cause? Will you teach the knowledge through a school for teachers, each of whom shall teach others, until there are enough trained to teach these truths to every worthy subject in my domain? Arcad bowed and said, I am your humble servant to command. Whatever knowledge I possess will I gladly give for the betterment of my fellow men and the glory of my king. Let your good chancellor arrange for me a class of 100 men, and I will teach them, and I will teach to them those seven cures which did fatten my purse. Man which mere was none leaner in all Babylon, meaning he was very, very, very broke, but he learned how to acquire wealth. A fortnight, y'all, wait, a fortnight, what does a fortnight means? Because that's a game. And oh, fortnight means a period of 2 weeks. I never knew that. Okay. Okay. I never knew a fortnight meant 2 weeks. So 2 weeks later, in compliance with the king's command, the chosen 100 assembled in the great hall of the Temple of Learning, seated upon the colorful rings in a semicircle. Archive sat beside a small taboret upon which smoked a sacred lamp, sending forth a strange and pleasing odor. Behold, the richest man in Babylon, whispered a student, nudging his neighbor as Archive arose. Excuse me. He is but a man even as the rest of us. Okay, that was rude. As a dutiful subject of our great king, Arcad began. I stand before you in his service, because once I was a poor youth who did greatly desire gold, and because I found knowledge that enabled me to acquire it, he asks that I impart into you my knowledge. I started my fortune in the humblest way. I had no advantage, but hold on, I had no advantage not enjoyed as fully by you and every citizen in Babylon. The first storehouse of my treasure was a well worn purse. I loathed it useless. Wait, I loathed its useless emptiness. Okay, this book was written in the 20s, y'all. I hated its useless emptiness. I desired that it be round and full, clinking with the sound of money. Therefore, I sought every remedy for a lean purse. I found seven. So a lean purse means a broke wallet. And he found seven remedies to get rich. Okay. To you who are assembled before me, shall I explain the seven cures for a broke purse, which I do recommend to all men who desire much money. Each day for 7 days will I explain to you one of the seven remedies. Listen attentively to the knowledge that I will impart. Debate it with me, discuss it among yourselves. Learn these lessons thoroughly, that you may also plant in your own purse the seed of wealth. Oh, I might need to highlight that one. He said, discuss it among yourselves. Learn these lessons thoroughly, that you may also plant in your own purse the seed of wealth. I like that. That's awesome. Okay, let's highlight that. First, must each of you start wisely to build a fortune of his own. Then will you be competent, and only then to teach these truths to others. I shall teach to you in simple ways how to fatten your purses. This is the first step leading to the temple of wealth, and no man may climb who cannot plant his feet firmly upon the first step. We shall now consider the first cure. The first cure is to start your purse to fattening. Arcade addressed a thoughtful man in the second row. My good friend, at what craft workest thou? I replied the man, am a scribe and carve records upon the clay tablets. Even as such labor did I myself earn my first money, pennies. He said coppers, but pennies. Therefore, you have the same opportunity to build a fortune as me. He spoke to a florid basement. What does florid mean? Hold on. Let's look that up. Oh, florid means rude. Okay. Ruddy? Wait, it says ruddy, having a red or flushed complexion. Okay, so not rude, a red faced man. Farther back. Okay. He says, pray tell also what you do to earn your bread. I, responded this man, am a meat butcher. I do buy the goats the farmers raise and butcher them and sell the meat to the housewives and the hides to the sandal makers. Because you do also labor and earn, you have every advantage to succeed that I did possess. In this way did Arcade proceed to find out how each man labored to earn his living. When he had done questioning them, he said, now, my students, you can see that there are many trades and labors at which men may earn coins. Each of the ways of earning is a stream of gold from which the worker does divert by his labors a portion to his own purse. Therefore, into the purse of each of you flows a stream of coins, large or small, according to his ability. Is it not so? Thereupon they agreed that it was so. Then, continued Arcade, if each of you desires to build for himself a fortune, it is not wise to start by utilizing that source of wealth which he already has established. To this they agreed. So that's what we did when starting our business. Okay. We use our own money. Okay. Then our cod turned into a humble man who had declared himself an egg merchant. If you select one of your baskets and put into it each morning 10 eggs and take out from it each morning 9 eggs, what will eventually happen? It will become in time overflowing. Why? Because each day I put in one more egg, then I take out. Arkai turned to the class with a smile. Does any man here have a lean purse, or is anyone here broke? First, they looked amused, then they laughed. Lastly, they waved their purses in the air. All right, he continued. Now I shall tell you the first remedy I learned to cure a lean purse. Do exactly as I have suggested to the egg merchant. For every 10 coins you place in your purse, take out far but 9. Your purse will start to fatten at once, and its increasing weight will feel good in your hand and bring satisfaction to your soul. Deride, okay. What does deride mean? Let's see. Okay, baby. Okay, okay. Okay, deride means to ridicule. Okay. So deride not what I say. Okay, so don't ridicule what I say because of its simplicity. Truth is always simple. Oh, I missed this the first time I read it. Oh, wait. Truth is always simple. Wow. That's so good. That's good. I told you I would tell how I built my fortune. This was my beginning. I too carried little money and cursed it because there was not within there was not enough to satisfy my desires. But when I began to take out from my purse 9 parts of 10 I put in, it began to fatten. So will yours. That's great. Now I will tell a strange truth, the reason for which I know not. When I ceased to pay out more than 9/10 of my earnings, I managed to get along just as well. I was not shorter than before. Also, also was long. Did coins come to me more easily than before? Surely it is a law of the God. Well, this book was written in the 90s. We serve one God. Surely it is the law of God that unto him who keeps and spends not a certain part of all his earnings shall money come more easily. Likewise, his purse who is empty will wait. Hold on. Let me translate this. It says, likewise, him whose purse is empty does gold avoid. Okay, so basically, he's saying money is attracted to money. So a man with money or a man saving will earn more money. But a broke man who is broke, money will avoid him. Basically, that's what he's saying. Okay, which desire do you have the most? Is it the gratification of your desires of each day? A jewel, a bit of finery, better clothes, more food, things quickly gone and forgotten? Or is it substantial belongings, gold, land, herds, merchandise, income bringing investments? The coins you take from your purse bring the first. So when you spend money, okay, on instant gratification, you buy jewelry, you buy better clothes, you buy more food, you're gonna run through your money. But the coins you take from your purse to bring, okay, the coins you leave within will bring the latter. So the coins you save will bring gold, land, cattle, merchandise, and income bringing investments. Okay. This, my students, was the first cure I did discover for my broke purse. For each 10 coins I put in to spend but 9. Debate this among yourselves. If any man proves it untrue, tell me tomorrow where we will meet again. Mm, wow. Part of all you earn is yours to keep. Save 10%. Live off of the 90%. We've started to do it. We have started to do it. Okay. So the first cure is to start saving. All right. Now let's read the second cure. It says the second cure, control your expenses. So some of your members, my students, have asked me this. How can a man keep 1/10 of all he earns in his purse when all the coins he earns are not enough for his necessary expenses? So did Arkad address his students upon the second day. So every day they're learning something new for 7 days straight. Yesterday, how many of you carried lean purses? All of us, answered the class. Yet you do not all earn the same. Some earn much more than others. Some have much larger families to support. Yet all purses were equally lean or broke. Now I will tell you an unusual truth about men and sons of men. It is this, that what each of us calls our necessary expenses will always grow to equal our incomes unless we protest the contrary or unless we do different. Confuse not the necessary expenses with your desires. Now, I love this. So let us not confuse our necessary expenses with our desires. Each of you, together with your good families, have more desires than your earnings can gratify. Therefore, are your earnings spent to gratify these desires insofar as they will grow? They will go. Still, you retain many ungratified desires. All men are burdened with more desires than they can gratify. Because of my wealth, think it's you, I may gratify. Hold on. Because of my wealth, you think I may gratify every desire? This is false. This is a false idea. There are limits to my time. There are limits to my strength. There are limits to the distance I might travel. There are limits to what I might eat. There are limits to the zest with which I may enjoy. I love that. So he's saying, even though he's rich, he still has limits and he operates within those limits. I say to you that just as weeds grow in a field, wherever the farmer leaves space for their roots, even so freely do desires grow in men whenever there is a possibility of their being gratified. Thy desires are a multitude of those that thou mayest gratify are but few. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I totally missed your comment. I'm just reading away. Solo Tita said, I love seeing this. I thought, what a wonderful mommy multitasking. But I haven't seen a mommy rock her baby in so long. My sister's birthday is today, and I remember my mom trying to make her to crying. Stop crying by rocking her. I like your style better. Laughing out loud. Also, we would probably be smarter like baby. Sub, thank you. I appreciate you so much and have to go, but I'll definitely stop by next time. Thank you so much, Tita, for that comment. Wow. That's so sweet, guys. That is such a sweet comment. But yes, I'm trying to rock him to sleep. Yeah. Tita, thank you so much for your comment. Okay. And both of our kids, they love to read. And I know with me rocking him and he being on my chest is going to soothe him to sleep. But thank you so much. But yes, I know back in the day, the old people would rock the babies to sleep. And thank you so much for liking the live stream. That means so much to me. Thank you so much. Okay. So I say to you that just as weeds grow in a field, wherever the farmer leaves space for their roots, even so freely do desires grow in men whenever there is a possibility of their being gratified. Thy desires are a multitude, and those that you may gratify are but few. Study thoughtfully study thoughtfully your accustomed habits of living. So we all need to be tracking our expenses. Okay. Herein may be most often found certain expected no. Herein may be most often found certain accepted expenses that may wisely be reduced or eliminated. Let your motto be 100% of appreciated value demanded for each coin spent. Wow. Look at that. Mhm. Therefore, hold on, I want to take a picture like this. Oh, wait, of me and the baby. Yeah, like this. Let me take a picture like this. Okay. Therefore, engrave upon the clay each thing for which you desire to spend. So every time we desire to spend something, we need to write it down. Select those that are necessary and others that are possible through the expenses of the 9/10 of your income. So don't pull it from savings, pull it from the 90%. Cross out the rest and consider them but a part of that great multitude of desires that must go unsatisfied and regret them not. I love this. Let me highlight that too. Okay. Budget then your necessary expenses. Touch not the 1/10 that is fattening your purse. Let this be your great desire that is being fulfilled. Keep working with your budget. Keep adjusting it to help you. Make it your first assistant in defending your fattening purse. I love it. Hereupon, one of the students, wearing a robe of red and gold, arose and said, I am a free man. I believe that it is my right to enjoy the good things of life. Therefore, do I rebel against the slavery of a budget, which determines just how much I may spend and for what? I feel it would take much pleasure from my life and make me little more than he cursed, but I won't say that, than a jack to carry a burden. To him, Arcade replied, who, my friend, will determine your budget? I will make it for myself, responded the protesting one. In that case, were a foolish one to budget his burden, would he include therein jewels and rugs and heavy bars of gold? Not so. He would include hay and grain and a bag of water for the desert trail. The purpose of a budget is to help your purse to fatten. It is to assist you to have your necessities and insofar as attainable your other desires. It is to enable you to realize that most cherished desires by defending them from your casual wishes. Like a bright light in a dark cave, your budget shows up the leaks from your purse and enables you to stop them and control your expenses for definite and gratifying purposes. I love it. I love it. That's the purpose of a budget. Wow. I so love it. So you can defend against overspending. That's basically what he is saying. Let me highlight this paragraph. Wow. Okay. This then is the second cure for a lean purse. Budget your expenses that you may have coins to pay for your necessities, to pay for your enjoyments, and to gratify your worthwhile desires without spending more than 9/10 of your earnings. I love it. So, the first cure of being broke is to start your purse to fattening. And the second cure is to control your expenses. Now we're moving on to the third cure, which is to make your money multiply. So, behold, behold, the lean purse is fattening. You have disciplined yourself to leave therein 1/10 of all you earn. You have controlled your expenses to protect your growing treasure. Next, we will consider means to put your treasure to labor and to increase. Gold in a purse is gratifying to own and satisfy a miserable soul, but earns nothing. The gold we may retain from our earnings is but the smart. The earnings it will make shall build our fortunes. So spoke Arcade upon the third day to his class. How therefore may we put our gold to work? My first investment was unfortunate, for I lost all. Its tale I will relate later. My first profitable investment was a loan I made to a man named Agar, a shield maker. Once each year did he buy large shipments of bronze brought from across the sea to use in his trade. Lacking sufficient capital to pay the merchants, he would borrow from those who had extra coins. He was an honorable man. His borrowing he would repay, together with a liberal rental as he sold his shields. Each time I loaned to him, I loaned back also the rental he had paid to me. Therefore, not only, hold on, I wanna. So back in the 20s, what did rental mean? Oh, rental is not like a Airbnb rental. Rental is an amount paid. Oh wow. So it's a loan. So rental means a loan. Okay, so it says each time I loan to him, I loan back also the loan he had paid to me. Therefore, not only did my capital increase, but its earnings likewise increased. My gratifying most gratifying was it to have these sums returned to my purse. I tell you, my students, a man's wealth is not in the coins he carries in his purse. It is the income he builds, the golden stream that continually flows into his purse and keeps it always bulging. That is what every man desires. That is what each one of you desires an income that continues to come whether you work or travel. Wow. Yes, that is what I desire for our family. Passive income. Yes. Yes, that's what we desire. Okay, passive income. Okay, so great income I have acquired, so great that I am called a very rich man. My loans to Agar were my first training in profitable investment. Gaining wisdom from this experience, I extended my loans and investments as my capital increased. From a few sources at first, from many sources later, flowed into my purse a golden stream of wealth available for such wise uses as I should decide. Behold, from my humble earnings, I had gotten a horde of money slaves, each laboring and earning more money. As they labored for me, so their children also labored and their children's children until great was the income from their combined efforts. Gold increased rapidly when making reasonable earnings, as you will see from the following. A farmer, when his first son was born, took 10 pieces of silver to a moneylender and asked him to keep it on a loan for his son until he became 20 years of age. When the moneylender did and agreed that the rental should be one fourth of its value each 4 years, the former asked, because the sum had set aside as belonging to his son, that the rental be added to the principal. When the boy had reached the age of 20 years, the farmer again went to the money lender to inquire about the silver. The money lender explained that because this sum had been increased by compound interest, the original 10 pieces of silver had not grown to 30 and one half pieces. The farmer was well pleased, and because the son did not need the money, he left them with the money lender. When the son became 50 years of age, the father, meantime, having passed away, the moneylender paid the son in settlement 177, excuse me, 167 pieces of silver. Therefore, in 50 years, had the investment multiplied itself at rental almost 17 times. Thus, then, is the third cure for a lean purse to put each coin to laboring that it may reproduce its kind, even as the flocks of the field, and help bring to you income, a stream of wealth that shall flow constantly into your purse. So I still don't understand the concept of a rental. I guess it's an investment. Yeah. Or interest. Maybe rental means interest. Yeah. I don't know. It says money earned or received as rent, an amount paid. Okay, maybe it means like you putting money aside or you making small investments that increases over time. I think that's what it means. Mac, what are you doing up, Mac? I'm rocking the baby up. I'm rocking the baby to sleep. Mac, what are you doing up? Okay. We are reading The Richest Man in Babylon, Mac. Okay. We are learning how to turn content into cash. And we are also learning how to build wealth. Okay. So, y'all, we have read 3 out of the 7 cures um, to cure being broke. The first one was to start our purse to fattening. The second was the second one was to control our expenses. The third one was, let me see. Oh, to make our money multiply. And now we're about to read about the fourth one, which is to guard our money from loss. Okay, let's continue reading. I'm getting a little hoarse, but we're gonna continue. So it says, misfortune loves a shining mark. Gold or money in a man's purse must be guarded with firmness, else it be lost. And thus, it is wise that we must first secure small amounts and learn to protect them before God entrusts us with more. So spoke Arcad upon the fourth day to his class. So every day they have been learning how to make more money and become wealthy. Every earner of money is tempted by opportunities where it would seem that he could make large sums by its investment in most plausible projects. Often, friends and relatives are eagerly entering such investment and urge him to follow. The first sound principle of investment is security for your principal. It is wise to be intrigued by larger earnings when your principal may be lost. I say not. The penalty of risk is probable loss. So study carefully before parting with your treasure. Each assurance that it may be safely reclaimed, but not misled by your own romantic desires to make wealth rapidly. Okay. Before you loan it to any man, assure yourself of his ability to repay you and his reputation for doing so, that you may not be unwittingly making him a present of your hard earned treasure. I had to learn this the hard way. Always trying to help and loan out money to people that you know will not pay you back. So I had to learn that the hard way. Before, oh, wait, Blissful Fun still up? Let me see. Let me respond back to my girl. Yo, Blissful Fun still up. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Let me respond back to Blissful Fun real quick. Because I think she on the East Coast, so it's later over there than it is here. It's 3 o'clock here, so it's 4 o'clock where she is. Let me see. Oh, she's so encouraging. Bliss. Thanks, hon. You're so encouraging. I really appreciate you for saying that. I'm live now. Me and the baby couldn't sleep. Yeah, we have the best members on the channel. We really do. And she's our moderator, so I had to definitely take a break and respond to her. Wow. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Let's get back to our reading. But I had to respond to our moderator. Okay. Okay. So we're talking about loaning our money, our hard-earned money out to people that we know will not pay us back. Okay. And to be wise against that. Okay. Oh, y'all, wait. The baby is getting heavy. Okay. All right. So let's see. Before you entrust it as an investment in any field, acquaint yourself with the dangers, excuse me, with which may beset it. What does beset mean? Excuse me. Plague. Oh, beset means to plague, to trouble. Wow. Let's read that sentence over with context. Before you entrust it as an investment in any field, acquaint yourself with the dangers which may upset it. My own first investment was a tragedy to me at the time. The guarded savings of a year I did entrust to a brickmaker named Asmer, who was traveling over the far seas and in Tyre agreed to buy from me the rare jewels of the Phoenicians. These we would sell upon his return and divide the profits. The Phoenicians were scoundrels and sold him bits of glass. My treasure was lost. Today, my training would show to me at once the folly of entrusting a brickmaker to buy jewels. Therefore, do I advise you from the wisdom of my experiences. Be not too comfortable of your own wisdom in entrusting your treasures to the possible pitfalls of investments. Better by far to consult the wisdom of those experienced in handling money for profit. Such advice is freely given for the asking and may readily possess a value equal in gold to the sum you consider investing. In truth, such is its actual value if it saves you from loss. Okay, that was like a mouthful, but basically, he's saying be wise with your investments. This, then, is the fourth cure for a lean purse and of great importance if it prevents your purse from being emptied as it has become well filled. Guard your treasure from loss by investing only where your principal is safe, where it may be reclaimed if desirable, and where you will not fail to collect a fair rental or a fair interest. Consult with wise men. Secure the advice of those experienced in the profitable handling of money. Let their wisdom protect your treasure from unsafe investments. I love that. So, the fourth cure is to guard your treasures from loss. Okay, so the first cure was to start your purse to fattening. The second was to control your expenses. The third was to, let me see, what was the third cure? Make your money multiply. I don't know why I keep forgetting that. The third one was to make your money multiply. I need to remember that. The fourth one was to guard your treasures from loss. And now we're about to talk about the fifth one. I need to remember the third one is to make your money multiply. So start your purse to fattening was is the first cure. The second one is control your expenses. The third one is to make your money multiply. The fourth one is to guard your money from loss. And now the fifth one is to make your dwelling a profitable investment or make your house a profitable investment. Okay. If a man setteth aside 9 parts of his earnings upon which to live and enjoy life, and if any part of his 9 parts he can turn into a profitable investment without detriment to his well being, then so much faster will his treasures grow. So spake Arcade to his class at their fifth lesson. So this is their fifth day learning how to not be broke. All too many of our men of Babylon do raise their families in unseemly quarters. They do pay to the exacting landlords liberal rentals for rooms where their wives have not a spot to raise the blooms that gladden a woman's heart, and their children have no place to play their games except in the unclean alleys. No man's family can fully enjoy life unless they do have a plot of ground wherein children can play in the clean earth and where the wife may raise not only blossoms, but good rich herbs to feed her family, which is the garden. To a man's heart, it brings gladness to eat the figs from his own trees and the grapes of his own vines, to own his own domicile and to have it a place he is proud to care for, putting confidence in his heart and greater effort behind all his endeavors. Therefore, I do recommend that every man own the roof that shelters him and his. So that is why we are trying to get rid of this mortgage debt. We need to pay off our house. Nor is it beyond the ability of any well intentioned man to own his home. Have not our great king so widely extended the walls of Babylon that within them much land is now usable and may be purchased at sums most reasonable? Also, I say to you, my students, that the money lenders gladly consider the desires of men who seek homes and land for their families. Readily can you borrow to pay the brickmaker and the builder for such commendable purposes if you can show a reasonable portion of the necessary sum which you yourself have provided for the purpose. Then, when the house be built, you can pay the money lender with the same regularity as you did pay the landlord, because each payment will reduce your indebtedness to the money lender. A few years will satisfy his loan. A few years? Wow. So, how much were houses back then if a few years can pay off a house? Okay. Wow. Okay. Then will your heart be glad because you will own in your own right a valuable property, and and your only cost will be the king's taxes. So basically he's saying is if you are paying rent now in an apartment, if you can afford to pay rent in an apartment, you can afford to pay off a mortgage, and then you can grow your own herbs. Your wife will be happy. Your children will have land to play on. And then once you pay your house off, you'll only have property taxes. Also, will your good wife go more often to the river to wash your clothes, that each time returning she may bring a goat skin of water to pour upon the growing things? Wow. Okay. You come, thus come many blessings to the man. Okay. So there comes many blessings to the man who owns his own house. Wow. That's a blessing. I never knew that. Let me highlight that. So there comes many blessings to the man who owns his own house, and greatly will it reduce his cost of living. Of course, that's what we're trying to do. Making available more of his earnings for pleasures and the gratification of his desires. This then is the fifth cure for a lean purse. Own your own home. Y'all, this book is so good. Own your own home. So, yes, thank you for that. I totally missed that the first time I read this chapter. So own your own home is the fifth cure to becoming rich, to stop making payments on the loan, to own it. Y'all, we're trying to have YouTube pay our mortgage. That's what we're trying to do. And I claim it in Jesus' name. It's going to get out. Okay. So I'm trying to remember these cures to being broke. The first one is to start your purse to fattening. The second one is to control your expenses. The third one is, I just learned it. It is to, is it to put your money to work? Make your money multiply. The fourth one is, what's the fourth one? Oh, guard your treasures from loss. The fifth one is to make your home a profitable investment to pay off your house. And now we're about to learn about the sixth. Oh, I forgot the fifth one again. To guard your treasures. What's the fourth one? To guard your treasures from loss. And then the fifth one is to make your home a profitable investment. Okay. And then the sixth one is to ensure a future income. Okay. It's getting good, y'all. Oh, we have some votes on the poll. Let me see. Let me see how y'all answered the poll. Okay, so 93% of people said to keep reading The Richest Man in Babylon, and then 7% of y'all said to do something else. Okay. What else would you have me to do if I can't sleep? And I'm excited. I'm excited about this season of life. And it's so late, but it'll be all right. Okay. Let's continue. I'm getting a little hoarse. Okay. So the sixth cure to stop being broke is to ensure a future income. So the life of every man proceeds from his childhood to his old age. This is the path of life, and no man can deviate from it unless God calls him prematurely home. Therefore, do I say that it behooves a man to make preparation for a suitable income in the days to come, when he is no longer young, and to make preparations for his family, should he be no longer with them to comfort and support them. This lesson will instruct you in providing a full purse when time has made you less able to learn. So Arkad addressed his class on the sixth day. The man who, because of his understanding of the laws of wealth, acquires a growing surplus should give thought to those future days. He should plan certain investments or provisions that may endure safely for many years, yet will be available when the time arrives, which he has so wisely anticipated. There are diverse ways by which a man may provide with safety for his future. He may provide a hiding place and there bury a secret treasure, yet, no matter with what skill it be hidden, it may nevertheless become the loot of thieves. So somebody's going to steal it if he buries it. For this reason, I don't recommend this plan. A man may buy houses or lands for this purpose. If wisely chosen as to their usefulness and value in the future, they are permanent in their value, and their earnings or their sale will provide well for his purpose. Okay, baby. A man may loan a small sum to the money lender and increase it at regular periods. The rent. Okay, baby. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, it's okay. It's okay, baby. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, baby. It's okay, baby. It's okay. A man may loan a small sum to the money lender and increase it at regular periods. The rental which the moneylender adds to this will largely add to its increase. I think I'm starting to understand what a rental is now. It's basically an investment. So, like a certificate of deposit almost, or um like a money merger, like a big savings account. Basically, you're loaning your money to the bank with hopes that it will return an investment for you. In the 20s, they called it a rental. Okay, it makes sense now. Okay. The rental which the money lender adds to this will largely add to its increase. I do know a sandal maker named Anson who explained to me not long ago that each week for 8 years he had deposited with his money lender 2 pieces of silver. The money lender had but recently given him an accounting over which he greatly rejoiced. The total of his small deposits, which with their rental at the customary rate of one fourth their value for each 4 years, had now become 1,040 pieces of silver. I did gladly encourage him further by demonstrating to him with my knowledge of the numbers that in 12 years more, if he would keep his regular deposits of but 2 pieces of silver each week, the money lender would then owe him 4,000 pieces of silver, a worthy competence for the rest of his life. Wow. Surely, when such a small payment made with regularity does produce such profitable results, No man can afford not to insure a treasure for his old age and the protection of his family. No matter how prosperous his business and his investments may be. I would that I might say more about this. In my mind rests a belief that someday wise thinking men will devise a plan to insure against death, whereby many men pay in but a large sum, well, I guess a small sum regularly, the aggregate making a handsome sum for the family of each member who passes away. This do I see as something desirable and which I could highly recommend. So basically, he's talking about life insurance. So this book was written in the 20s, and we have life insurance now. But today it is not possible because it must reach beyond the life of any man or any partnership to operate. It must be as stable as the king's throne. Someday do I feel that such a plan will come to pass and be a great blessing to many men, because even the first small payment will make available a snug fortune for the family of a member should he pass on. But because we live in our own day and not in the days which are to come, must we take advantage of those means and ways of accomplishing our purposes. Therefore, do I recommend to all men that they, by wise and well thought out methods, do provide against a lean purse in their mature years. For a lean purse to a man no longer able to earn, or to a family without his head, is a sour tragedy. This, then, is the sixth cure for a lean purse. Provide in advance for the needs of your growing age and the protection of your family. Wow, that was a lot to take in. But I want to make sure that I highlight the sixth cure of a lean purse. Wow. Okay. So I've been trying to remember them and I've been trying to say them over and over. So the first one is to start your purse to fattening. The second cure is to control your expenses. The third one is to make your money multiply. The second one is to protect your treasures from loss. The fifth one is to make your house a profitable investment. And then the sixth one is to ensure future income. Wow. Talking about life insurance. Wow. And then the seventh one is to increase your ability to earn. Wow. This book is great. Okay. All right. And this is actually the last cure. So every day he has been teaching them a different blissful fun. I just saw your comment, hon. Thank you so much for being here with me and the baby. Thank you so much. Girl, we are learning how to not be broke. Our moderator is here, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so we're reading about the seven cure to not being broke, and it is to increase your ability to earn. So this day do I speak to you, my students, of one of the most vital remedies for a lean purse. Yet I will talk not of gold, but of yourselves, of the men beneath the robes of many colors who do sit before me. I will talk to you of those things within the minds and lives of men who do work for or against their success. So did Arcad address his class upon the seventh day. Not long ago came to me a young man seeking to borrow. When I questioned him the cause of his necessity, he complained that his earnings were insufficient to pay his expenses. So I explained to him, this being the case, he was a poor customer for the moneylender as he possessed no surplus earning capacity to repay the loan. What do you need, young man? I told him is to earn. No, he said, what you need, young man? I told him is to earn more coins. And then he asked him, what do you do to increase your capacity to earn? All that I can do, he replied. 6 times within 2 days have I approached my master to request my pay be increased, but without success. No man can go often than that. Thank you, Blissful Fun. We may smile at his simplicity, yet he did possess one of the vital requirements to increase his earnings. Within him was a strong desire to earn more, a proper and commendable desire. Preceding accomplishment must be desire. Your desires must be strong and definite. General desires are but weak longings. Ooh. So yeah, I was just telling Blissful Fun how my goal as a content creator is to have YouTube pay our mortgage because we spend a lot of time advertising on YouTube and promoting our little puppy babies and pushing out educational content, entertaining content, and it would be great if YouTube paid our mortgage. And I was doing some calculations tonight and I learned that all we need to make is $77 a day for YouTube to pay our mortgage because starting a new business, y'all, we have gone into debt and we want to start applying the principles. I want to cover the baby's head because it's really cold in here. But we want to start applying the principles that we're learning in this book to get ourselves out of debt and earn more money so that we can leave an inheritance for our kids should anything happen to us, which one day, we won't be here. So we want to set them up for success. And I think one great way to do that is to share your story online and educate other people. Share your lessons, your life, your losses so that other people can learn from your mistakes. And it's been so freeing for me. I know my husband can relate as well. He's sleeping right now, but it's been so freeing for me to share not just our lives but our losses and not hold everything in. So that's the goal, y'all. 77 days. I mean, $77 a day. I said, man, what? $77 a day? That's it? That's all it's gonna take to get rid of our biggest expense, which is our mortgage. $77 a day. That's the goal, y'all. That's the goal. Okay. Okay, so it says, for a man to wish to be rich is of little purpose. And we don't wish to be rich. We just don't want to be in debt. For a man to desire 5 pieces of gold is a tangible desire, which he can press to fulfillment. After he has backed his desire for 5 pieces of gold with strength of purpose to secure it, next he can find similar ways to obtain 10 pieces and then 20 pieces and later 1,000 pieces, and behold, he has become wealthy. I love that. So he's basically saying it's not enough for you to think to be wealthy. You have to set a smart goal, um, a measurable goal, and then you can multiply that. I think that's very smart, actually. So, like tonight, we calculated it'll take $77 a day, averaging a 30-day month for YouTube to pay our mortgage. And that's the goal this month. $77 a day over the course of the next, 30 days. Even though February has 28 days, the goal is to see how close we can get to that $77 day and then multiply it. Okay. So it says desires must be simple and definite. They defeat their own purpose should they be too many, too confusing, or beyond a man's training to accomplish. I love that sentence too. Thank you. Thank you, Bush, Bushando. Say, am I pronouncing your name right? This is a great read. I'm learning so much already. As a man perfects himself in his calling, even will he wait, hold on. I'm trying to translate the old language. As a man perfects himself in his calling, even so does his ability to earn increase. Oh, that's good. I need to share that with the members. Wow. Okay. Bush, Bushendo, like, wait. Bushendo said, laughed out loud, Bushendo Brown from the Boondocks. I never watched the Boondocks growing up. I never watched the Boondocks, but thank you for liking the live. If that's you, I really, really, really appreciate it. Have you read this book before? Let us know. But it says, in those days when I was a humble scribe, carving upon the clay for a few pennies each day, I observed that other workers did more than I and were paid more. Therefore, did I determine that I would be exceeded by none, like nobody would outwork me. Nor did it take long for me to discover the reason for their greater success. More interest in my work, more concentration upon my task, more persistence in my effort, and behold, few men could carve more tablets in a day than I. With reasonable promptness, my increased skill was rewarded, nor was it necessary for me to go 6 times to my master to request recognition. The more of wisdom we know, the more we may earn. Wow. Bushendo said, I listened to it laughing out loud. I don't know if that counts. So, no, that counts. But I feel like this is a book I want to continue to read because it's so rich. It has so many wealth principles and so much knowledge. I feel like it's so easy for you to miss principles. And I've been kind of reiterating some of the principles that I'm learning, like saying to myself every day, a part of all we earn is ours to keep. We've actually started saving, not just for the business, but like for our household expenses. Um, we started budgeting. We started reading, of course, reading more. And our members, I have like tailored their training to be more efficient and more intentional, because we do teach our content creators how to turn content into cash. But I think this book is great. It's something I want to keep reading. I'm not sure what we're going to read next after we get done with this book, but we are French Bulldog breeders, and I think it's important for us to not just make the money, but keep it. And one of our mottos is we teach families how to get out of debt, stay out of debt, and teach other people how to do the same. But this book is amazing. Okay. So let's continue, guys. I love this book so much. Okay, so it says, the more of wisdom we know, the more we may earn. That man who seeks to learn more of his craft shall be richly rewarded. If he is an artisan, let me see what an artisan means. Let me see what that means. Whenever I come across a word that I don't know, a craftsman, a worker in a skilled trade. Okay, so an expert. If he is an expert, he may seek to learn the methods and the tools of those most skillful in the same lane. If he labors at the law or at healing, he may consult and exchange knowledge with others of his calling. If he be a merchant, he may continually seek better goods that can be purchased at lower prices. Also, do the affairs of man change and improve because keen minded men seek greater skill, then they may better serve those upon whose patronage they depend. Therefore, I urge all men to be in the front rank of progress and not to stand still, or they will be left behind. Many things come to make a excuse me. Many things come to make a man's life rich with gainful experiences. Such things as the following a man must do if he respects himself. He must pay his debts with all the promptness within his power, not purchasing that for which he is unable to pay. That's where we are right now, trying to pay off debt, even the mortgage. He must take care of his family that they may think and speak well of him. That's where we are too. We have two young sons. He must make a will of record that in case God calls him home, proper and honorable division of his property be accomplished. We have not done that yet. We need to establish a will. He must have compassion upon those who are injured and smitten by misfortune and aid them within reasonable limits. He must do deeds of thoughtfulness to those dear to him. We do that though. We have definitely been giving to our family and friends. Okay. Thus, the seventh and last remedy for a lean purse is to cultivate thy own powers, to study and become wiser, to become more skillful, and so act as to respect yourself. Thereby will you acquire confidence in yourself to achieve your carefully considered desires. Wow. Let me highlight that whole paragraph. These then are the seven cures for a lean purse, which, out of the experience of a long and successful life, I do urge for all men who desire wealth. There is more gold in Babylon, my students, than you dream of. There is abundance for all. Go thou forth and practice these truths that you may prosper and grow wealthy, as is your right. Go thou forth and teach these truths that every honorable subject of his majesty may also share liberally in the ample wealth of our beloved city. Y'all, this book is crazy. Okay, we just read a whole chapter. We just read all of chapter 3. Is it chapter 3? Seven cures. Yeah, we just read all of chapter. So we finished chapter 2 and then we read all of chapter 3. Seven cures for a lean purse. And number 1 is to start our purses to fattening. Number 2 is to control our expenses. Number 3 is to make our money multiply. Number 4 is to guard our treasures from loss and to make wise investments. Number 5 is to make our houses a profit well, to make our houses profitable investments. Number 6 is to ensure a future income. And number 7 is to increase our ability to earn, to become more wise. And I think that's all I'm going to read tonight because I'm getting hoarse. Thank y'all so much for liking the live stream. But y'all, I love this book so much. It's so good The next chapter is on meeting the goddess of good luck. Now, of course, we're believers. I don't really believe in luck, but I do believe in favor. So I will probably be replacing good luck with favor. Every time the book says good luck, I will just say favor. I read ahead a little bit. I have read this chapter and it's really, really, really good. So I'm looking forward to reading this with you guys. Um, but I enjoyed the reading tonight so much. Like, my goodness. Y'all, listen, I have to remember that we are starting on chapter 4. If you're still watching, let me know if y'all have read The Richest Man in Babylon before. Uh-oh. How did I get on the last page? Uh-oh. What happened? It's Oh yeah, it's my time to go. Y'all, the I oh no, it didn't die. I was gonna say the iPad died, but that's my signal to go get in the bed because I have a full day today, but I wasn't able to go to sleep. Now the baby is asleep, so I'll see if I can go to sleep. I'm just about to highlight these 7 simple rules of acquiring wealth. Number 1, start your purse to fattening. Number 2, control your expenses. Number 3, make your money multiply. Number 4, guard your treasures from loss. Number 5, make your dwelling a profitable investment. Number 6, ensure future income. Number 7, increase your ability to earn. Okay, I just need to lock that in my brain. And it did it again. Why does it keep doing that? Oh my God. Okay, it's happening for a reason. It keeps like blacking out. Bliss, I'm about to go get some rest, son. I'm still not tired. I am a complete night owl. Like this is my time. When the whole house is quiet, I come alive because I feel like I can think clearly. I feel like I have time to create. I have time to edit. I have time to get work done. But then when I stay up late and the kids wake up early, it's like, oh God. Especially if my husband is busy, I'm like, oh God, give me the strength, Lord, give me the strength. But I do need to go get some rest. I'm not sleepy though. I don't wanna. I'm really not sleepy right now. Like my body hasn't fully wind down. That's why I like to read at night so I can wind down, but I'm still up. I'm just so excited about this new season. Listen, me too. I lay down about 1 a.m. and then back up at 3. No rest for the weary, okay? But I have so much work to do. Um, I'm just excited. And then we love Dream. Like I'm so excited about this season. I'm excited to see, I know in my heart I feel like Dream is pregnant, but I'm excited to see it on the ultrasound machine. Like I'm excited to count her little puppies. I'm excited to see her little belly grow. I'm excited to have her energy back in the house. I'm just so excited right now. So it's really, really, really hard for me to like relax. But I know I'm gonna need my rest. I'm gonna eventually have to like wind down. So Bliss, when you get up this late, like what do you do? Let me know the secret, cause I like to read. That's what I like to do. And now I can be up with y'all. So she comes in the house during the day, yeah. We having a yeah, girl, dream when we bring her in the house, she wants to be back with her friends and her daughters and her brother. She Dream is so bougie. She Dream, I'm I'm like Dream. You're pregnant, girl. You need to be in the house chilling, relaxing. She likes to stare at the door, waiting on her friends. Dream is a mess. Blissful plan. She is an absolute mess, but we love her though. Dream was trying to go back in there today with them, but yeah, we've been like slowly trying to get her back acclimated into the house and being around Trust because Trust is bigger now, but he excites her. But yeah, as you saw today, we're trying to get her back used to being in the house. Bliss said, my husband leaves work at 3:30. I get everything ready for him. And then I do my cleaning early morning. That way I have the rest of the day. Girl, that is so sweet of you. That is so sweet of you, Bliss. You are such a great wife. Bliss said, oh, I wasn't sure if she was back in the house for good or not. Okay, so Bliss, we haven't moved her back in the house like for good, because we want to be fair. We don't want to just have Dream in the house and then we have three other dogs. It's kind of like, we want to share the love. We don't want does that make sense? We don't want to just have Dream in the house and then them in the puppy palace. But I did email some brands this week. So hopefully we can get some sponsorships and just like enhance their living environment so they can have like more playtime and more activities and like more stuff to do. But we'll keep you guys updated with that. One brand responded already. It's just, it has to be a good fit. And we only want to promote things that we use and love. So we're very careful about the things that we accept. But yeah, we have started bringing the dogs back in the house to get them used to the boys. The puppies are not as well trained as Dream, but they're never going to be trained unless we keep bringing them in the house and getting them used to being around small kids. Like they're used to being around my husband, but they have to be used to being around kids. So that has been the plan, getting the younger, they're like teenagers now. They're still puppies, but getting the puppies used to being around, the boys. And not all like um how do you say that word? Authoritative? Yeah. Getting them used to being around non-authoritative figures, like playful beings. So that's what we've been doing. Alpha Alpha is so playful. We really have to watch him around Trust because he likes to jump. So, but Dream was the same way. But with consistency, they'll learn. Dream was the same way. So, y'all, I feel like I should go make me some tea and get in bed. But it's 4 o'clock. So it's like, girl, go to bed for what? Like go to sleep and like you're gonna be back up in what, 2, 3 hours? And I'm not tired, but I could make some ginger tea. I'm not tired at all. Okay. And he's just sleeping away. I love to see our boys sleep. It's so peaceful. But yeah, Bliss. Bliss said yes, get some rest. That's why I don't bother going back to bed. Seriously. But see, when I'm up this late, I like to sleep in, but then the boys will be up. So I have to get up because Trust is on a regular little schedule. He wakes up and he wants his pancakes and his orange juice, and he wants mommy to be on 10. He wants his playtime. He wants to read his books. Trust is something else. My big boy is growing so fast. It's just so amazing. But the baby, it depends. Sometimes if I'm not ready to get up, sometimes the baby will kind of lay there with me if I continue to feed him, and then sometimes he'll be ready to get up. But it's gonna be very interesting in the morning because I know I'm gonna be tired. And then sometimes I can just run off of fumes. Like sometimes I'll be so excited, I'll be like this for like 2 or 3 days, and then I'll just crash. Like I'll just crash and want to sleep for 2 or 3 days. But I know this week is ultrasound week. Oh God, I'm just so excited. I know this week is ultrasound week. We have a heavy content schedule this week. Oh, I think I have YouTube training this week too. We're in another YouTube training. I think it's today, actually. I think it's later on today. I have YouTube training. Let me see. Hold on. Bliss said, enjoy those moments that grow up so fast. I know, Bliss. I'm trying. I'm really trying to appreciate these moments because Trust is up walking, talking, and singing and dancing. And the baby is right behind him. Oh, we do have YouTube class today at 12:30. I'm so happy it's later on in the day because if it was earlier, I probably would have missed it. But yeah, we have YouTube class today. We've been learning so much. Last week, um, we learned from Bruhman TV. He has been on YouTube for I think 10 years, over 10 years. He has over a million and something subscribers already. And he gave such wise advice about how you can create outside of your niche. Like we're in the our dog niche, but like yesterday I showed me cutting my hair. Um, and he was saying how our communities buy into us and not a box. So don't box yourself in. Like, and he was saying how over time you will evolve and your community will evolve with you. And sometimes, creators get so scared to show more of themselves or talk about their personal lives or show like different sides of themselves because they get so comfortable in the little box that they put themselves in. And he was saying, and like as a creator, YouTube has waves. And over the years, like so much has changed and he has had to adapt with the changes of YouTube and like the type of content that people prefer. And that's why I chose to show me cutting my hair yesterday on Rosharon Frenchie Breeders because I was like, okay, yes, maybe. I was like, yes, I could stream it on Just One Touch by Miss Dreeks, but it's a channel that's been lying dormant for maybe the past 2 or 3 years. And um, I wanted to share in the excitement of me cutting my hair and I wanted the dog community to see it. So I took a chance and I actually streamed it on Rosharon Frenchie Breeders too. So I'm happy he hosted class last week because he gave a lot of insightful advice and a lot of great business advice too. So we'll be putting some of that into practice this week and this month. And I'm really excited about it. But this boy is like knocked out sleep. So y'all, we're about to get off. I'm gonna try my hardest to go to sleep. But my chest is like so excited. I'm like jumping on the inside. But y'all have a good night. If you're watching and you're sleepless like us, let me read the poll before I get off really quickly. Okay, so I said I can't sleep. So should I keep reading The Richest Man in Babylon, sing lullaby songs, go wake my husband up, or something else? So 4% of you guys said to go wake my husband up. 12% of you guys said do something else, and then 83% of you guys said to keep reading The Richest Man in Babylon. So yeah, we kept reading. I wish I would have seen y'all say go wake my husband up. That would have been kind of funny. Sometimes I do wake him up when I can't sleep, but he's been um excited too, and I need him to have to get his rest. We both don't need to be tired. But thank y'all for sitting here with me tonight. I'm gonna try to go close my eyes. Y'all, definitely subscribe. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Like this video, even if you're watching the replay. And remember that the same old story, the same good news. We love you guys. We'll see you soon.